Alright, welcome back again everyone. Let's see what we have for day 3 of Unleash the Beast. Oh, another prize. Why are we here in the UK? Well, I got word some folks and donate a few of their 1971 Skylines. Okay. Take it for a spin. One's all yours. Win this autocross. You've been lent the car, so on and so forth. Let's see what we have for upgrades. Um, very fast upgrades, 5 minutes. So I'll go ahead and put those on. I think both those are about 5,000 race dollars. Now we're up to about 13, maybe 14. Let's just say 18, 22. And I'll shorten that off to 24. And about 28. So about 28,000 race dollars to do the first 7 upgrades. We'll have to see how many are left. I'm going to go ahead and start. I may actually be able to finish this entire stage before the upgrades hit. So obviously this is not a fast car. It's not supposed to be. It's just supposed to be something of, I would say, just a fun car to drive. I don't think every car on this game needs to be a Venom or some top-end Ferrari or like a race car or something like that. Sometimes there are just fun cars to come out and drive. It definitely has no grip. That's okay. Ran off track. I'll just sort of ease it across the finish line. Alright, a little bit of fun. And like I say, we may actually be done with this entire stage even before the first set of upgrades hit. Now, just so we can have a look at how far the Godzilla came from the C10, I want you to do the same autocross, but in the R32. Okay, so I did 52 seconds or something in the other one, and now we're looking at 42. So possibly 10 seconds faster over the same section of the track. And let me actually pause that. I didn't see that I had that turned like that. There we go. That should stabilize it for everybody. I don't intentionally do that, but I also don't look at my computer screen when it's recording. I stay looking at my phone. And I just have the recording on. So looks like Magnus having trouble, not sure. Finish at least 55 yards in the lead. 1 lap head-to-head at the national circuit in the old car. Okay. Since the upgrades have not hit yet, obviously this is going to be just all whatever I can do as a player, which right now is not looking like very much, but I can always do that. Of course, that didn't it didn't pan out how I wanted. So I'm going to say that this challenge is meant, and I guess I'm going to win it, but I'm not going to win it by enough. And that was because I ran very poorly there, drove off track. I think with 5-minute upgrades, they have this set up to where it's just expected that you will. So we've got the 7 upgrades. Let's see what's next. 6,500 for 10 minutes. 6,100. So now we're to, let's just say 13,000. Have to go with gold there. 19,000. 20, 25, 29 since I rounded up, and 34,000. So 34,000 race dollars for the second tier. That'll be done in 10 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and spend the one gold there. I know I'm going to fully upgrade this car. There's no question about it. It's only 21 gold to fully upgrade it, so it's not really even a question in my mind whether I'll fully upgrade it. I certainly will. Okay, so let's see what we can do against Magnus now. You can see relative to my position against Magnus that there has been an improvement in the car. I don't think you can see it any other way, really, because the car is still slow. If we're being honest, it's still a slow car. But we are certainly beating Magnus now. I feel like driving this car I need to talk slower or something, so maybe it'll seem like the car is going faster. And that's not good. I'm going to have to do this one again. Maybe not. But only just barely. So, obviously you can see you can do a little something not perfect there and be able to still win the race. 30-minute service, that's really good. Obviously you can just watch one advertisement. Well, this little comment here is pretty hilarious based on how I just ran it right off the road. He's reckless. He nearly drove you off the road, being a little too liberal with driving, so be careful and win. Oh, good. Okay, 3 laps on the National. I was thinking it was going to be 3 laps on the Grand Prix circuit, and maybe I was going to need to go like get some breakfast or something get myself ready for that, because I can't see this car going around Silverstone Grand Prix in really in less than like 3 minutes. It would just be a very, very labored race, having to go 3 laps around the Grand Prix in this car. I don't actually mind the car. Don't mistake me for that. Oh, there's a Dodge Challenger. Okay. The Challenger might be one of the worst cars on the game. It just, it has no performance. It's expensive to upgrade. I think it's like 300 or 400 gold to upgrade it, which is why I haven't. And then it's just, you drive it and it's like the whole game just starts going in slow motion, way more so than this car. I guess Magnus was in one of those Challengers. That's interesting. He's obviously not a very smart driver if he's in that. This national circuit here is interesting. If you're ever running through a gauntlet, which they have thankfully slacked off on, I think there was 5 or 6 consecutive updates that had a gauntlet, and they're just not enjoyable. But then they skipped one. This most recent one had a gauntlet, and I can't actually remember what car it was for. And now this one doesn't have it. But if you ever, if you get the gauntlet and you look at the race and the difficulty says extreme, always look at what track it says. If it says this one, you just hang it up. You really just need to quit and just try to go back to the beginning, because this track, you know, it'll only give you 2 laps, or maybe even just 1. Obviously, you have to start last, as always. And this track is just impossible to pass on. Even if you could go off track, which when you get to like later goals, they're all, you can't go off track, you can't hit any cars, you can't do this, you can't do that. But with this one is just, it's terribly difficult because of how it's laid out. So I actually have sort of a self policy that if I see extreme difficulty or even hard, really, and this track, I carry on. I'll stop the run. I don't generally skip goals. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it, since this car is not, I guess, not going to be used again. I don't usually like to skip goals in special events or gauntlets or anything, but I have done it in the past. And there we go. So the upgrades are going to hit pretty quick. That's the end of stage 3. You get 5 gold for completing stage 3, and you get a car. I will say that is probably the cheapest car that you will ever win on the game. I honestly think you could have won it with 0 upgrades. So, of all times, I think this is honestly a free car. What in the blazes was Magnus thinking? I know he's got a reputation as a motorsports bad boy. He could get somebody hurt. Oh, hi Zoe. I agree, Norm. Is there anything I can do? How about this? You two look out for each other, and I'll be happy. Steer clear of Magnus. Hopefully we'll have a great day tomorrow at Brands Hatch. Brands Hatch is always a fun little course. Okay, so there you go. That is stage 3 of Unleash the Beast. Pretty good stage. Gets you a car. You know, any new car is pretty good. As you can see on the screen there, I'm down to only 9 cars that I don't have in the game. The vast majority of those, I think 6 of them, are in. Actually, it would be 5 because I still don't have this Nissan here. So 5 of those are in NASCAR. I don't have all the NASCARs because they're so expensive. So that's that. Let me know how you're coming along. Questions, comments, leave them. I'll get back to you. Have a good one.